Hello, hello, hello. Today is the 14th of August, 2023. It's been far too long since we last heard from Norm Winsky. We're going to rectify that right now. Norm, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I believe I was last on your show over the weekend of July 14th. And now we're going to review what I said back then. We had 5 points and five areas of forecasting, five cycles. Over the weekend, we had Pluto lining up with the U.S. chart. Anytime we have something lined up with the U.S. chart, we look at U.S. stocks, T-bonds, and U.S. dollar. Then the mid afternoon of the 17th, we had a new moon in the sign of Cancer. Every time we have a new moon, full moon, we look at the financials, grains, precious metals. In this case, we were emphasizing silver because it was in the sign of Cancer, which is associated with silver. Excuse me. Then we also had Jupiter lining up with the U.S. chart. That was U.S. stock, T-bonds, U.S. dollar for the night of the 17th. And then the morning of the 19th, we had Uranus lining up with the U.S. chart for stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And because U.S. Neptune was involved, we look at oil. Then over the weekend of the 21st into the Monday the 24th, we had Venus in Leo turn retrograde, and that's cattle, copper, corn, cotton, gold, sugar, and wheat. So let's look at the charts now. Here's corn. We had 2 points for corn. We had the new moon, the night of the 17th into the morning of the 18th, and there you go. There's a little pullback low there, and then you had a big rally in the corn for, what was that, about 60 cents. That's about $3,000. Then it pulled back right there for the Venus retrograde, and then it rallied up about, what was that, about 30 cents. That's $1,500 there for the corn, and so forth. There's soybeans. We had just 1 point, the lunar point for the beans. That was right there, and that rallied. That low there was from 70 up to almost, that was about 70 cents, about $3,500 there. And here's your wheat. We had 2 points for wheat. We had the lunar point and the Venus point. Lunar point pulled back low there. You buy there, and you would have made, let's see, what's that, about $1. That's about $5,000. Then it pulled back here into the there, and then it rallied from 720 up to about seven. That's 70 cents. That's $3,500, and so forth. Those were the green arrows where you had a chance to make some money. Here's a point where it didn't work. The cattle, it just kept going down another day and then went sideways. So you didn't really have a chance to make any money. So that's a red arrow. That's a miss. The cattle gave you a bum steer then. A little cattle humor there, see. Cotton went sideways, so we do nothing there. That's a yellow box. Here's probably the best one of all in terms of timing. The sugar went up, up, up into our Venus point and then went down, down, down. That was the high day of the month. It doesn't get much better than that. Here's a little short-term top there on the crude oil for about $1 profit. That's maybe more like two, maybe three. Looks like 77 to about 74. Make that about $3. That's $3,000 there. And here's copper. Pulled back there into our Venus window, and then had a big rally here for about 20 cents. That's $5,000. Silver was going sideways, and so we did nothing there. Here's gold, pulled back into our moon window, and then had a nice rally for about $30, and pulled back here. We off by 1 day, but it's okay. I allow a 1 day window, 1 day either way, and so we were 1 day ahead of that low there, and then it rallied up for about $20. That's $2,000 there. Here's the S&P. We have 5 points for the S&P. It pulled back low there for our U.S. point. Then it popped up there for the moon, but then it just went sideways, and so we counted into another point, and so we counted that as a miss, and then the next point as a sideways pass. Then it rallied up to the morning of the 19th for a nice short-term high for about 60 handle profit, potentially there. Then just went sideways for a pass. Here's the bonds. Had a pull back low into that U.S. point there on the 17th. Same deal here on the count that as a miss when it just goes up and sideways. And then so we had a miss and then a pass. But the 19th was really fantastic for the bonds because you can see that was the high day of the month. They actually matched this high over here to the tick. So it was actually a double top there, and then it went down, down, down big time. For the bonds, the dollar, we had a cluster here for the bottom, a bottom action here, and we made a little top there on the morning of the 17th. Then the afternoon, we made the low on the moon. And then the next day, you're one day past it, and that's when the low was. And then the next day, you're one day past that. That's a U.S. point there. So we count that too. And then it was up, up, and away. That was the low for the dollar for the month. Here's the British pound. You're within a day. There's the moon right there, and you're with one day past the high of the month. Here's the euro. You're one day. Here's our point here, and right there. And then the next day is the high of the month. So if you count the green arrows and the red arrows, you got 20 winners, 3 misses out of 23 for 86.96%. Now you'll have to take my word for it here that I do these charts in advance. I draw this blue line in advance for the month. This is reviewing the month of July, and I drew this blue line a month in advance for the month of July, and based on the planetary events. And then I overlay the S&P 10-minute bars on top as we go on at the end of the month, so you can see if there's a correlation or not. This is based on inspired, you might say, 50 years ago when I read a book by Donald Bradley, which is, you can Google Donald Bradley Stock Market Index. I'm not doing exactly what he did. I've changed it since then, but that's sort of the inspiration for this. All right, moving along now. Here's what's coming up in the future. Tomorrow, the 15th, the afternoon, we'll have Jupiter lining up with Neptune. That's cattle, cotton, and oil. Then we have a new moon coming tomorrow night, the night of the 15th, in Leo at apogee. And that'll be grains, precious metal, and because it's in Leo, the emphasis on, I should have put corn there, emphasis on corn and gold. And then we have a Helio Jupiter to Saturn. That'll be cattle, coffee, cotton, and oil. And then we have Mercury in Virgo. The night this one here, Jupiter, Saturn. That was the night of the 18th. Then the night of the 23rd, we have Mercury in Virgo turning retrograde. Mercury is the grains, and it's in Virgo, so that's an emphasis on soybeans, corn, soybeans, wheat. And then we have the moon's north node 90 to the U.S. Pluto, so that's a U.S. Deal, and so that's stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. That's the night of the 25th, and then the night of the 25th also, we have geocentric from the point of view of the Earth, Mars entering the sign Leo. That's important change of trend for sugar and wheat. If you're not familiar with me, I've been doing this about 50 years now, or more, actually more than 50 years. And I started doing this when I was in college, started investing back then based on these planetary cycles. I made enough money to buy a membership on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. As soon as I finished school, in 75 there, I moved to Chicago. I did that on the floor for 12 years. Also did a stint on the Chicago Board of Trade. Here we go. Here's how you can get some free information. Contact me. We'll get a plan for your moving ahead in your market education. Call Norm at 239-594-3939 in beautiful Naples, Florida, or you can email me at annwinsky@yahoo.com or Skype @Winsky_1. You can call me free if you're on Skype anywhere in the world. Looking forward to helping some of your folks, Jeff. Everybody have a great week.
Norm, month after month, a fantastic track record. I'm going to post this in just a minute. Thanks again, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
Thank you very much.